Hi, this is Ushio, and welcome back to Angels with Scaly Wings. It's time for another mod, and hopefully we can get a couple more mods in before the new game comes out, hopefully later this year. No idea when the release date is, but I'm going to keep an eye on it, and hopefully that will work out. But for now, we're going to try a mod called Lorem and Ipsum. Let's go in, and we'll check out and hang out with Lorem. Skip ahead. Here we are, we're currently on chapter 4 toward the end. And Lorem, as we all know, comes out as a hermaphrodite to us. And so we go in for that hug. It's all good. I kneel down on the ground. Come here. Lorem got off the couch and hesitantly walked over to me. I pulled them in to a comforting hug. It's alright, buddy. I don't mind at all. Lorem was at a loss for words. They just returned the hug, and I heard a few quiet sniffles. You really don't mind? Not at all. I don't think of you any differently, or any less of you now that I know that. Thank you. That meant so much more than you could ever think. Hearing that is such a big relief. Lorem pulled away and continued talking. You know, it's not always the bullies who go after me once they know. Too often, it's also been people who I thought were my friends. So whenever I meet another person, I have to prepare myself for this conversation, not knowing whether they'll suddenly turn against me when they find out. And their reactions can be very different. Some get angry or make fun of me, others feel betrayed and don't want to have anything to do with me anymore. By now, I think I've seen it all. I'm so glad that you're not like them, but it's always a gamble. Maybe the next person I tell is going to become violent. How can I put myself out there when this could happen wherever I go? You know what I mean? What will people do when they find out about me and my game? I just don't know. And that's what I'm worried about. I only wish there was a place where I could be safe from all of that, where it just wouldn't matter that this is who I am. If someone like you, someone with a place of authority, said something, maybe that could change things. I know you can't interfere with our politics though, you're an ambassador. It doesn't mean I don't have hope that something like that will happen one day. I should probably go now, it's getting late, and you've made me feel a lot better. You told me not to worry about the future, maybe you're right. Sure, there's still a lot of work ahead, but maybe it's not as hopeless as I thought. Never is. Hey, do you still want to see the fireworks show together? Sure. Okay, just give me a call in a few days so we can discuss the details. I'll do that, and I'll see you then. I went to move Ipsum's Ixman sphere so I wouldn't accidentally damage it, but when I picked it up, I noticed that it was still unlocked. I saw some of the features Lorem had shown me earlier, but the main thing I saw was an obnoxious flashing battery symbol. Oh, Lorem must have forgotten to put it back onto the charger after showing off the other things it could do. Leave it alone? Or charge it? Shall we charge it? I tried to put the sphere on the charger, and after struggling to get it working for a few seconds, I got it to start charging. After that, I settled down and got ready for bed. And hopefully that is what we need to do to get this mod underway. So do we choose Lorem on chapter 5? Is that how the mod works? It's time to go. Okay, let's take the sphere. The sooner Ipsum gets it, the better. Okay, skip on through. So Reza's doing his thing. He's got the gun out. Maverick's here. I've been risking my life for this every day for the last 2 weeks. What did you do during that time? Sip champagne in your nice apartment? Yep. Besides, this generator and the whole building came from our time, and they belong to humanity. None of us said anything in response, or even moved. I suddenly remembered what Lorem said about the Ixman sphere. All of a sudden Maverick charged, followed by Lorem, and I took out the Ixman sphere and prepared to throw it. Reza was quick with his aim, shooting Maverick in the leg and causing him to stumble. He also dodged Lorem's charge. Then he hit them with a well-placed kick, knocking them into the wall and causing them to fall to the ground. This isn't ideal. This is kind of a bad thing that's going on right now. I held the Ixman sphere in Reza's direction, which moved with surprising speed, hitting Reza right between the eyes, causing him to stagger back, dazed, and involuntarily tossing his gun toward me. I picked it up, not wanting to take any chances, and unsure how to properly wield a gun. I just wildly fired in his direction. Surprisingly, I hit every shot, and Reza slumped lifelessly against the wall. Oh wow, we shot him to pieces. Wow, got a headshot and everything. I immediately went to check on Lorem. They were unconscious, but didn't have any visible injuries, which was a relief. Maverick hobbled over. Guess I was wrong about you. Are you okay? Hurts like hell, but I'll live. How is he? They're unconscious, but I think other than that they're fine. I'll get some help. You stay here and watch over him. Maverick went to get help while I watched over Lorem. I checked on Reza, and unsurprisingly he was dead. He had an unanticipated amount of ammo on him though, much more needed for simple self-defense. The sound of a door opening behind me snapped me out of my thoughts. It was the administrator. Hey, Izumi, did you get lost on your way here? Where were you? It's interesting that you remember her name, even though you were never told it in this timeline. Her name? What do you mean? A muffled sigh came from behind the mask. You really haven't pieced it together yet? Height or voice not ring a bell? The administrator took off their mask to reveal my face. How's that possible though? To make a long story short, time travel is a hell of a lot more complicated than we initially thought. The Izumi in this timeline died at some point, and since I was the person next in line with the most experience, I took her place. She left behind a lot to help me. It's almost as if she expected this to happen at some point. Anyway, I carried out her plan just as she would, which unfortunately included deleting our home coordinates. Why did you do that? Well, it was part of Izumi's plan, and it was the most reliable way of stopping Reza from escaping with the generator that we need to stop the comet. But more importantly, we didn't save our people too this time, so one of us had to go back. Are you asking me or telling me? Because I'm pretty sure both of us want to stay here. You were the one who was successful in their timeline, so it's only fair that you get to choose. As for my timeline, it's better you don't know. Anyway, we don't have much longer to decide. Your choice. Am I gonna go back or am I gonna stay? I'm gonna stay. I prefer to stay here. It's strange. I expected that, and yet I'm still disappointed. I'll go tonight, but later. I don't want to draw any suspicion by the portal being used. Good luck. Thanks. I'm gonna need it. They briskly walked out of the underground building, presumably into the forest and to Izumi's hideout. Alright, bye. Soon after, Maverick returned with Bryce and some paramedics, who had already bandaged Maverick's wound. They proceeded to check over me, and then bring Lorem to the hospital to be monitored. Bryce then took mine and Maverick's statements, and escorted me back to my apartment. Here we are. Still quite shaken from the encounter with Reza, I just went straight to bed, hoping to process everything in the morning. Yeah, if you're gonna, kill a person, that's definitely a toll that's gonna come over you. Morning. I woke up looking at the ceiling I was now well acquainted with, but without the nightmares I usually got. I got up and did my daily morning routine as best I could, given the lack of certain things that dragons didn't need but humans did. With the threat of Reza eliminated, the other me going through the portal, I had the chance to reflect on me staying in the dragon's world permanently. There are pros and cons, and I knew I'd have to deal with some sooner than I liked, but I tried to focus on the positive things, like getting to stay with Lorem. After the confrontation with Reza, they were told to take it easy, and were let off work, but with Ipsum still working, I decided to visit so they wouldn't get lonely. But just as I was about to leave... Oh, doorbell. Hello? Someone's at the door. Oh, hey. I was asked to deliver this to you. Hey, Remy. Who's this from? It's from Emra. She said she wanted to talk to you about something. There's more about it in this letter. Okay, thanks. I'm sorry to be so crude and rushed, but I'm very busy today. Don't worry about it. I know what it's like to be busy. Thanks for your understanding. Bye. See ya. I went back inside to read the letter I was given, and it said the following. Okay. Dear Ushio, okay Emma, what do you need? I hope you're in good health and condition given the circumstances you are under in recent times. I'm writing to inform you that we must discuss matters related to the portal, your ambassador status, and other important details. Please come to see me at my office at your earliest convenience. Minister of Culture and Arts, Emma. Lovely. I knew this was inevitable, but I didn't think it'd be so soon. I don't know how long this is going to take, and I don't want to keep Lorem waiting. I guess tomorrow will have to do. Okay, let's go. Hello? Hey, hey! Hey, how you doing? Well, I'm a bit sore, but more confused than anything. All I can remember about the other day is Maverick getting shot, and then I charged at Reza, and then I woke up in a hospital bed. But you're here, so I'm assuming it went at least well enough. It did, but I've got a lot to explain, so you should get comfortable. Okay? We sat down on the couch, and I began to explain. Okay, so what happened was you were knocked out. I threw Ipsum's Ipsum sphere at Reza, then I took his gun and shot him, and you were taken to the hospital after that. Okay, makes sense. But what was Reza talking about? He said the generator was from our time. What did he mean? This might sound hard to believe, but the human and dragon's world aren't separated by space. They're separated by time. Wait, you'll say the portal is actually a time machine? Well, basically yeah, but there's more to it. The coordinates to the human world are kinda gone, so I'm going to be staying here permanently. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. But what do you mean they're gone? What happened? Actually, you don't have to talk about it if you don't want to. It must still be pretty painful. It's okay, but there's one last thing. Have you heard anything about a comet lately? Ipsum offhandedly mentioned it at some point, but with everything else you said, I don't think it's good news. Well, yes and no. The important part is that Reza's stopping us from escaping through the portal, with the generator saved your entire species from extinction. I don't follow, but I'm not sure. I want to think about what would have happened if we didn't stop him, if us stopping him saved dragonkind. Maybe we should talk about something else less depressing, considering I came over so we could have a good time. Yeah. Actually, I still owe you dinner, from you letting me draw you. It's a bit early for dinner. I can make you lunch then. Anything specific you want? As long as it's not Pantoli's pizza, I'm happy with it. Yeah, good one. You can wait here. It shouldn't take that long to prepare it. Alright, get some food. Lorem strolled into the kitchen, leaving me in the living room. I guess I could look around and see what kind of stuff Lorem and Ipsum have. Okay, so let's have a little look around. So what's on your shelves, man? I looked at the bookshelf, and there was mostly only video games and books. That's plenty. Games. I didn't recognise anything there, but a few things look vaguely familiar. There was a game which, according to the back of the box, was about two carpenter brothers called Marco and Louis, who had to go on an adventure to save Princess Apricot. This definitely doesn't remind me of anything from back home. Exactly. Let's look at the shelf again. Let's look at the books this time. The shelf for books was split into two parts. On one side was books about plant care, design, coding, and an out-of-place novel called The Exteriors. On the other side were books about biology and physics, but there were also magazines, one about medicinal and flavoured teas, and another about a dragon tech company I obviously didn't recognise. Wow, I wonder which side belongs to who. Don't know why I thought I'd find anything interesting on a shelf full of books. Books are super interesting, man. Alright, let's look at that plant. I didn't recognise the plant, but it did seem to be thriving. Ipsum wasn't joking when he said Lorem loved plants. They've got one, it's fine. It's nice to have plants. Look at the TV. The TV looked exactly like the ones from back home. I looked closer and saw cables running from it into the back of the stand it was on. I looked inside the cabinet it was on and saw what I assumed was a DVD player and a console with its controllers lying next to it. I wonder how different movies and video games are between humans and dragons. I think I've looked enough. After waiting for a bit, Lorem came back out from the kitchen carrying two plates with some appetising sandwiches. I know it's not amazing, but I didn't want to keep you waiting too long. They set one down in front of me and sat next to me with the other. I bit into the sandwich, and it was delicious. The combination of an unknown meat, vegetables, and uniquely flavoured bread was an entirely different experience, but not unwelcome. Wow, this is amazing. Oh, thanks. Nothing special. Maybe I should break this awkward silence. Okay, let's talk about... There's lots to talk about. Let's talk about Ipsum. So, where's Ipsum at? He's at work in the production facility. He should be home in a few hours if you're looking for him. Nah, I was just curious since he wasn't here. Oh, alright. Talk about your books. I was looking at the bookshelf there, and I saw a book called The Exteriors. What's that about? Well, I don't want to spoil it in case you want to read it, but it's about two rival teenage gangs called the Oilers and the Gloves. I thought it was really good, but it doesn't have an entirely happy ending. Well, nothing gold can stay, pony boy. What? It was a reference to... never mind. Okay, let's go into games now. I saw a game on the shelf called Super Mario Brothers. Tell me about that. Oh, that's one of my favourites. It's a 2D side-scroller where you have to jump to get power-ups and avoid enemies and obstacles. There are lots of different worlds and levels in it too. It's fairly old, but it's a classic. Do you have anything similar in your world? It does sound familiar, but I can't quite seem to place it. We were interrupted by Ipsum coming through the front door. Yo, we were just chatting. I thought you were supposed to be at work though? I am, but what would happen to Damien? The shift schedules are a bit messy, so I was sent home early. And once again, I didn't know Ushio would be here today. Oh, I assumed you would have been at work, and I didn't want Lorem to get lonely, being here by themselves. Well, isn't that very considerate? Ipsum sat down on the other end of the couch. As he did, Lorem rose and picked up the 2 now empty plates. Back in a few minutes. Okie dokie. I zoned out for a bit, thinking about what would happen to me and my ambassador status with the portal now completely non-functional. But I snapped out of it when I noticed Ipsum staring at me. Ipsum? Oh, sorry about that. I'm just still very curious about your biology, given you being an entirely different species. If you wouldn't mind, maybe I could take some samples to examine and run some tests on you in the production facility? Oh, right. Anna said you're off limits only to her. Anna already did some tests on me, but I never agreed for only her to do tests on me. Really? Well, maybe we could do it then, if you don't mind, of course. Sure, I don't mind. It might be a few days before we can, though. I'm glad to hear it. Just let me know when you're available. Hey, what were you two up to while I was gone? Oh, we're just talking about science. Physics, mostly. I thought it sounded like biology to me. Ushio, you know what happened last time? Don't get him started again. You're just saying that because you know you won't be able to keep up with us. Actually, how much do you know about physics? Oh god, barely anything. No, I don't know nothing. See, I'm not the only one who doesn't know about physics. At least you're honest. You really should consider learning about it though. It's really interesting. I'll stick to biology for now, thanks. Anyway, enough science talk. I wish you had got enough of that last time. Let's do something fun. What do you have in mind? I'm not actually sure though. I have an idea of a human game we could play. Oh, what's that? It's called Would You Rather. The idea of it is you give someone 2 hypothetical situations and they have to choose which of the 2 they'd rather. Can they be good or bad? Yeah, but you'd obviously want to choose 2 good or 2 bad, not one of each, because whoever you're asking would choose the good option. I could start so you two can probably understand. So, let's go with Ipsum then. Ipsum. Do you want to live in the future or the past? Do you want to have no hair or be completely covered in hair? Or know how and when you'll die? That one's harsh. Let's go with hair. Would you rather lose the hair you currently have or be completely covered in hair? There are dragons that are completely covered in fur. They're just less common. I think it could be interesting to have more fur like that though. And you'd give way better hugs. It would be a pain to wash all that fur though, trust me. So, do you get it now? I think I get it. So, Ushio, oh, here comes the question. If you had the opportunity, would you rather change into a dragon or stay as human? Yeah, that's the idea exactly. Now, as for the question... I guess because we're currently stuck in a world of dragons, it would probably be better to be a dragon, because then you would just fit in more easily and the infrastructure would support you better. If you're the only person who's different, it's going to create a bit more trouble for you. Maybe. We'll go with dragon. Do I get to keep things like my mind and personality? It's just my body changing, right? Yep. Oh yeah, I definitely prefer being the dragon then. You can do so many more cool things than humans can. Now the real question is, what species? Wow, I don't know many dragon species, so I'll pass on that for now. So if we're going anti-clockwise, it's Lorem's turn. Okay, so Ipsum, would you rather never own an Ixaman sphere or give up on your tea collection? That's unfair. How could I choose between those two? Sorry, that's how the game goes. I'd have to choose my Ixaman sphere though. I have to admit, it is pretty useful. Exactly. Okay, Lorem. Let's do it. Would you rather live in the world of your favourite book or favourite game? Would you trade your wings for strength or height, or stay the same? Would you rather be blind or deaf? Shall we go... I don't know, let's go with the book or game. Would you rather live in the world of your favourite book or favourite video game? Probably my favourite game. My favourite book has a decent bit of violence, so I'd rather avoid that. I bet your favourite game is about farming. Ha ha. So, Lorem, would you rather never play video games or never take care of plants? Now that's cruel, man. So, you can ask me that kind of question, but I can't? I meant because I'm not giving up on my game, so the poor plants are just gonna die. Oh, I should have clarified your game wasn't included. I'll still choose games regardless. Anyway, okay, ask me, would you rather eat ice cream or mac and cheese? Ooh, mac and cheese is good, but we've gone through an ice cream mod, so I think in honour of that, ice cream mod, yeah. What flavour though? I guess it depends on the flavours that are available, not the special. Speaking of availability, I've noticed a lack of certain flavours that are in the human world. Well, it's most of them, but mainly strawberry. When did you see what flavours we had? I did have to buy food at some point while I've been here. Also Katsuharu, right. Okay, let's talk to Ipsun't this time. Yo yo. Would you rather live in the future or the past? The future, definitely. I'd love to see the advancements in technology and science. That's quite an optimistic view of what will happen in the future. You really just want an excuse to get another Ipsum sphere. You know, I was sceptical at first, but this was a lot more fun than I thought. Yeah, it really was. You have to tell us more human games like this. Alright, but only if you can tell me about similar dragon games in return. Maybe we could alternate which we do. Sounds like a deal. Okay, so, one last question. If you had to, would you rather kiss me or Lorem? Whoa, Ipsum? I'm starting to think you have some ulterior motives here. I don't. I just thought it would be funny to see Lorem flustered from me asking that. If I did have to choose though. Okay, Ipsum's asked a question, so sorry guy, I'm gonna put you on the awkward spot. I'm choosing Ipsum. Would you now? Any specific reason? I wanted to see that smug grin disappear from your face when your plan backfired. Unless this is what you wanted to happen? What do you mean? Well, first Ipsum wondered what I would look like naked, and now he wants to know if I'll kiss him? You really do have ulterior motives, don't you? No, that's not what I meant at all. Sure it wasn't. Well, I've got stuff to do in my lab now. Of course you do. Don't explode anything while Ushio's here, please. Where's the fun in that? That's not concerning at all. Don't worry about him. He's joking. Mostly. Oh, Ipsum ran away. Once again, there he goes. Off to hopefully not blow up the apartment. Wait, did you bring Ipsum's Ixamen sphere? Oh, I had a feeling I forgot something. I can bring it some other time. He's survived without it this long. He can go a few more days. Yeah. I know I asked before when I invited you over for dinner, but how's your game going now? Well, ever since that talk you gave me, I've been feeling a lot more secure in what I'm doing. I'm doing the best I can for myself, and I'm not catering entirely to others so I don't lose myself. I know that now, but I also still need help. I can't do this on my own. You know you can always count on me and Ipsun't to be there for you. Yeah, I know, and I really do appreciate that, but I need to put myself out there and be better. You and Ipsun't can't be the only people who accept me for me, right? Of course not. Anyone who doesn't accept you is the one losing out, it's not you. Really? Yeah, you're an astounding person. Anyone who says otherwise is an immature bigot who should be ignored. But remember, you have my support no matter what. Thank you, and I've said it before, but it does mean a lot. Lorem walked up to me and hugged me, but because of their height, they just rested their head against my upper abdomen, and I still returned the hug regardless. After a good few seconds, Lorem let go and backed off a bit. It's gotten fairly late, and I might be pretty busy tomorrow, so I'll see you later, okay? Alright, I'll see you soon. Okay, so that is probably the end of this part of this mod video. So yeah, we'll be back in the next video very soon. This is Usho signing off, and hopefully I'll see you next time.